Hello there folks, and thanks for joining me once again. And today's fly, I'm going to tie up a little attractor pattern, a little dry fly pattern. It's called the Badger Hackle Peacock, and I got it out of my book Flies the Best 1000 once again. It's just a good little attractor pattern. It's tied from a size 10 down to a 16, and I'm going to tie it for you this time on a 12. I just picked a size 12 hook to demonstrate for the video, and I'm using some Danville 6/0 black for the thread. So we'll get going here, and I'll explain the materials as we go. I'll get the hook in the vise here and get it locked down. We got a size 12 mustad 94840 standard dry fly here. Lock him in, and we'll start our black thread about 2 eye lengths behind or so, behind the eye here. We want that space for our hackle. And we'll get a thread base going back to just about above the barb here, and I'll snip off that tag in the thread. Okay, a couple more wraps back. Now for the tail, I'm using some Lady Amherst tippets, and if you don't have this material, you can use golden pheasant tippet as well. I've used golden pheasant for this fly also. So I pick out about probably 10 to 12 fibers for the tail. If you don't have to be too precise on it. Actually, I think I've only got 6 or 7 this time around, but that's okay. Tie them in on top here, pinch the loop, and then I'm going to wrap back and then forward a couple wraps, and then I'm going to snip that to the body length. Now the rib is some fine copper wire here. This stuff I got here is really fine. It's the best I find for this size, these here particular dry flies rather. It's just a little extra durability. So first I'm going to wrap up and cover up the rest of the tail material, and I'll catch that fine wire in on the far side there. Let it come down around the bottom. Wrap my thread back to in front of the tail once again, and then forward to about the middle. Now I want to catch that wire in the material, clip it out of the way. Now the body is one of my very favorite materials for trout flies. Whenever I can use it, I definitely use it, and that's good old peacock herl, as we know. I got 4 strands here, and I'm just going to cut those brittle tips off. Now I'm going to catch these in on my side of the hook this time, where I left my thread there. And we're going to wrap back to almost in front of the tail, but not quite. Then I'm going to take my finger and make a little dubbing loop here. Wrap back, lock that in place with a couple wraps around the base. Okay. Then we'll move our thread back forward to where we want to tie our body off and stop there. Alright. So I'm going to take those herls and place them in the center of the loop here, like so. Grab a set of hackle pliers. And we'll begin to twist that to form our peacock rope. But before I go any farther, I'm going to take a little bit of head cement, or you can use super glue, whichever you like, and put a little of Sally Hansen's along there, just for a little added durability. Now I'll continue to twist that a little bit. Now our first wrap, we want to go right in front of our tail, like always here. Then I'm going to begin to twist it some more. You may have to twist the rope a few times as you go up, just to keep it nice and tight, give you a fuller body on the fly. You can usually tell when you have to twist it. Okay, give it a few more twists there. Now just bring my thread back. Okay, and one more twist should do it before I tie off. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to tie that off, so come up. Couple wraps around the top, grab my thread tension back again, and a few wraps rearward to trap it in place there, lock it down, and we'll snip it off close like so. Alrighty, and a couple more securing wraps there just to be sure. Now we'll take our wire we had here, our fine wire, counter wrap that forward with 4 or 5 turns, and that just adds a little bit extra more durability on the fly. Prevent the fish's teeth from breaking that herl there. Now we'll fold that back to lock it in place. And I'm just going to give that a little helicopter like so, and that comes right off. That fine wire breaks nice and easy for us. Okay, and our last step is our hackle. And I'm using light badger, hence the name badger hackle peacock. And I've also tied it with like a medium shade badger or also a dark badger. Makes a nice little fly as well. So I got these prepared like I usually do, with a few barbels stripped off the far side of each hackle that's going to be wrapped down first. So I want to catch these in so that they're coming off, starting to go, the first wraps right in front of our body is what we want there, so that's good. Right there, like so. And I'll wrap forward to the eye. Snip off the stems there. Rest my thread right behind the eye. Okay. Now our next step here, I'm going to grab the hackle with my pliers. I'm just going to bring it down around my fingers first here and then catch it with these pliers. Alright, so then you want to proceed to wrap. Just try to get one wrap right in front of the next, like you would normally on any dry fly. And we're going to wrap towards the eye until we're ready to tie off. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. Okay, a couple wraps to tie this hackle tip off. Regain my thread tension, release the pliers, and a couple more wraps to secure that in nice and tight. Alrighty, there we go. There's our first hackle, folks. Okay, just adjust my light there a little. Now we'll do the same with the second hackle. We'll come down around like so. Grab him with my pliers here. And that first wrap we're going to wiggle. Whoops, they slipped out. I'll just regain the grip on them there. Okay, just bear with me, folks. Okay. Yeah, okay, that die doesn't want to agree, so I'll try a different pair of hackle pliers. See how we make it. There we go. Now you just want to wiggle that hackle back and forth as you go forward so you don't trap down your previous wraps of the first hackle. That just helps to prevent that. And we try to get the same amount of wraps each time. Now I'll come up, tie him off too, the same way, a couple wraps. Pull him at thread tension there, keep a hold of it. And a couple more securing wraps. Just like so. And there we have it. He's just about done, folks. Okay, I just got one fiber there I want to trim out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and snip those out of there with my scissors, nice and careful like. Use my thumb to guide my scissors so we don't trim nothing we don't want cut out. I got a few trapped fibers I'm going to snip out. Just like so, there we go. Okay, now we'll just build a small little hit on this guy and throw in a whip finish and it'll be a done deal. Alright, you don't need too many wraps. Okay, and with my whip finisher, we'll get a good 4 or 5 turn whip finish on them. Like so. Okay, there we go, folks. Snug that down nice and tight. Cut or snip your thread. Just like so. And just have a look there, see how your hackle went. That looks good. Alrighty, so I'm going to bring it up a little closer for you now, so you can get a good look at him there. Alright, so one last step. I got some good hit spin here. It's nice and really thin and it soaks in the thread wraps good. I'm just going to give it one little drop. Let that soak in on the thread head there. Just check my eye, make sure that's clear. Okay. So that's all there is to that pattern, folks. It's a very simple deal. But it's one of those flies that are really simple and easy to tie, but catches fish. And those are definitely good patterns to have in your box for sure. You can tie up a bunch of them in a hurry. And like I was saying, you can tie this fly. If you don't have the Lady Amherst tippets, just use golden pheasant tippet. I've taught him that way as well. As far as the hackle goes, I use light badger, but you can use any shade of badger hackle. And that's all there is to that guy. So, if you haven't seen my flies before, and this is your first time viewing, and you'd like to see more, just hit the good old subscribe button there, and throw in a like too if you wish. And if you have any comments, put them down below, and I read each and every one, that's for sure. So go ahead if you have any comments. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas out there, and Happy tying as well. And until next time, everyone, I probably won't have another video, I forgot to mention, till after the holidays. But until next time, I'll see you all again soon, and so long for now, folks.